Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Tuesday, the 11th of June, 2024. In today's Millwall news, we start off with this a picture of two teammates but on opposing teams. Today, Romain Esse Aidomo Emakhu playing for England under-20s and Republic of Ireland under-21s in a friendly match in Croatia. And who won? Well, we'll find out. No one. It was a draw. Yeah, it was a draw. 2-2. Desmond. So this is from EnglandFootball.com. This is the match report. England Elite Squad. That's what they call them. I don't know why they changed the name. I don't know. They should call them the under-21Bs because that's basically what they are. 2 Republic of Ireland 2. And they did play. They were both on the pitch at the same time, and we'll get into that later. I don't think SA's mentioned in the match report, but I'll read it anyway, because why not? What else am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about all these players that we're signing. I can't, because you haven't signed anyone yet. Archie Brown and Dane Scarlett score, but Young Lions are denied victory in an entertaining game in Zagreb. England men's elite squad were denied consecutive wins on their trip to Croatia after the Republic of Ireland equalised late in a 2-2 draw in Zagreb. The Young Lions beat Sweden 2-1 on Friday and were on track to win by the same scoreline, having come back from 1-0 down to lead, but a late leveller ensured that the two teams had to settle for a draw. Republic of Ireland took the lead after just 3 minutes, with captain Joe Hodge finding the target. England were almost back level shortly afterwards, Dane Scarlett putting a good ball into the box, with Sammy Braybrook missing the target from 6 yards out. The Young Lions did finally pull level on the stroke of half time, though, with Archie Brown running unopposed from the halfway line to score. The second half began as the first had ended, with Dane Scarlett converting from the penalty spot after Abu Kamara had been fouled in the first minute after the restart to put Ben Future's side ahead. Future made a raft of substitutions throughout the second half, with all 10 outfielders changed by the 65th minute of the game. And 3 minutes from time, the Republic of Ireland made it 2-2, Jed Ward saving from the penalty spot but unable to block the follow-up. So yeah, you can see the starting 11, and Romain Esse was not in the starting 11, but he was here, number 20. If I can get it to you, there it is there. So yeah, he came on the 65th minute. So he played about 30 minutes. So there you go. Now, this is the England match report. They don't mention the Irish for some reason. So let's go over to this from rte.ie and find out that Emakhu, he's there at the end, came on the 58th minute for Home Mahoney. So he had a few more minutes on the pitch, but they effectively both played the last half hour of the game. So there you go. Obviously, haven't seen the highlights yet. If I can find the highlights on YouTube, I'll share them on the community tab on the YouTube page, the Daily Millwall. Now, moving on to this. The club have posted. They posted about this Father's Day. They're trying to shift some swag. Get some swag for Father's Day. Shop for Father's Day gifts with the Lions store. Father's Day is just around the corner, with the big day taking place on Sunday the 16th of June. Why not treat the Millwall supporting dad in your life to a gift from the Lions store? ? With shirts, accessories, games and more on sale. Click below to take advantage before the weekend. Well, don't think about getting a kit, because most of the kits are gone, and you'll see them listed. You'll click on it and it's like, oh, XXS, extra small, or it'll be just the woman's one or just the kids one. Interesting to see. I don't know if this means anything. I had a little look on it. This is it here. So they have the kits, and some of the kits have already got the pre-printed names on, and some of the I think it's here, look, discounted. So Simon Fleming's one is discounted a little bit more than some of the other players. What does that mean? Does that mean anything? Probably not. Probably not, just because maybe it's just because they got too many of them. I don't know, man. They've got extra, they want to get rid of them. And you'll find, if we go down, you see Bradshaw. He's been knocked down to 53 quid. And this is 49.50, but I think that one's a kids one. That's just a grown-ups one, so that might be the difference there. But there are others. Got the Nisbet one in white, 43 quid. Nisbet. Is Nisbet going anywhere? I don't know. But that is an adult shirt as well. That's 43. So there you go. But how about here? This Christmas jumper, fair old Christmas jumper. Why not? It's fucking freezing today, wasn't it? If you're in London, 14 degrees it was today. 14 degrees. It's summer. Why is it so cold? Next week is bloody midsummer, 22nd of June, and it's 14 degrees. What is going on? Must be all that global warming. But there you go. Only £12.50 for that. That's a kid's jumper. You could buy that for your dad unless he's a midget. £12.50. That's a kid's jumper. That's why it's so cheap. That's what I'm talking about. You look at all this stuff and you look at it and you go, oh, and then you look or you click on it and you go, oh, that's for kids. And this orange shirt here, that's for women. 15 quid. So, shit. Yeah. I think it would be nice if they let you sort by category in terms of like kids, women's, grown-ups, whatever. So you could actually get some stuff, but not really happening. So there you go. For Father's Day, there you go. Probably have to act quick if you want to get it in time. Hopefully they sort that out, because that would be an absolute disaster if they didn't get that all sorted in time for delivery after putting up a thing on the website saying buy your stuff for Father's Day. So that would be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it? Now, moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk, a story I believe that has been pulled off of something that was said on the latest Wall Talk episode, which is the club's official podcast. They have former and current players come on and have a little chat. And the latest one that got put up this week is from Stuart Nethercott. So, former Millwall defender Stuart Nethercott opens up on cancer scare. The 51-year-old has urged others to be vigilant with their health after a physio advised him to get a mole checked last summer. So former Millwall defender Stuart Nethercott has bravely opened up on his cancer scare after the discovery of a mole last summer. The 51-year-old, who captained Millwall to the Division 2 title in 2001, said he was left in a blur after the diagnosis. The cancerous mole was removed, but Nethercott then faced further health complications after the treatment. He received the all clear in January this year and has urged others to be vigilant when it comes to their health. Nethercott told the Wall Talk podcast, back in June or July 2023, I was playing a few charity games. I had a massage with a physio and he spotted the mole on my leg and he asked if I'd had it looked at. And I was going, nah, don't be silly, it's just there. He told me that I would get it checked, so I did. We went through the system with the doctors, had it removed, and then it's been a waiting game for the results. And then you called in and the results said it was cancerous. And I was in the room with my wife and it was just like a blur. I was phased, bleary-eyed, not even listening. It was one of those things where I thought, I'm going to fight this. I went in for the operation on December the 20th. They'd done a biopsy on the area where the mole was and had an incision near my groin. It all went well. I had the operation on the Wednesday, was out by the Thursday, and then back home recuperating. Unfortunately for Nethercott, his ordeal wasn't over, as he was left feeling really rough over Christmas. While he was preparing the roast dinner, a rash had appeared near where the mole had been removed, and by Boxing Day he was left with no choice but to check himself back into hospital, where he was put on antibiotics. Sounds like he got one that was an MRSA or whatever it is. I don't think he says that here. He said, the staff there were really scarce, and I'm not going to knock the NHS, but it's only when you go in there and you understand it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. The rash was getting worse, and I was going, I'm in so much pain, something needs to be done. 8 hours later, they went in where the incision was and flushed this rash out. And now this is the 29th of December, and I'm stuck in hospital over New Year's. And I'm getting all the WhatsApp messages from all the boys saying Happy New Year. And I was in hospital. I didn't want to ruin anyone's Christmas or be a burden on anybody, but I got out on January 2nd, and now I was waiting for the results. And on the 18th, they came through, and it was all clear. I've got a few scars, more now than when I was playing. And Nethercott, who made 227 appearances with Millwall over 6 years at the Den, said he wanted to share his story to remind others to prioritise their health. He added, "If you see a mole or anything and you think it's not right, get it done. If it wasn't for the physio and Mark Falco, the ex-Spurs player who played here, who was pushing me, they'd done me a right favour." Yeah, so he got it taken care of. It was cancer. And again, after the operation, had trouble again with probably some kind of infection. Went back in, luckily managed to get sorted, but that could have been really bad as well. So there you go there. Check your moles, check for cancer. Now, we're going to have a look at this. This is the bbc.co.uk transfer page for June 2024. Why am I bringing this up? Have we signed anyone? No, we have not, but there have been a couple of transfers in this division. Tom Nixon has moved from Hull to Doncaster. Sheffield Wednesday, you've got Will Vaulks has gone to Oxford, so Oxford seemingly needing to strengthen their team for the Championship, and they brought this guy in from Sheffield Wednesday. Will that be enough? Probably not. And you've got Ephraim Yeboah, who seemed to be a decent player in his time. I think it wasn't he at Leeds and he's Bristol City. He's gone from Bristol City to Doncaster on loan, so that might be a family thing. If he was at Leeds, obviously Leeds in Yorkshire, Doncaster in Yorkshire, maybe he didn't settle in Bristol City and wanted to go back to Yorkshire, but he's going on a loan to League One Doncaster. And looking down there on the 10th of June, you can see Charlton have made a signing. Signed a goalkeeper from Cambridge, I believe. And Dan Kemp's gone to Stevenage. Dan Kemp, really good player. Dan Kemp, absolutely fantastic little player. So if you're one of those people who have a bet where you try and pick who's going to go up in each division, I would say have a look at Stevenage for a dark horse for League One, because Dan Kemp is a game-changing player. So there you go. Still no Millwall players signing yet, although there have been rumours of Mario Balotelli. Now, I will tell you, if you don't know what's going on, if you're seeing all this crazy stuff happening, go and have a watch of that Millwall podcast. It was broadcast on Sunday, and you might understand why all these crazy rumours are coming out. It was a challenge they put out in terms of, let's see who can get the craziest rumour to spread. And someone seemed to put up Mario Balotelli, so there you go. Yeah, it's just bizarreness. Absolute bizarreness. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't even want him. He's not the top. He has quality, but he's not going to run around. And I don't think he's what we need at this moment. So there you go. Especially unless he was going to come in for a very reasonable wage, which I doubt he would, because I don't think he probably needs the money. So there you go. Now moving on to this. This is from EFL.com. It's about the attendances. Now, you may remember, I think maybe about a month ago, Mill put out a story basically giving themselves a pat on the back for the attendance increase, which was the highest average attendance at Millwall since 1950s. And I tried to say, well, actually, that's league-wide. And I brought up a story from BBC without actually looking at it, and saw that was from last year. Well, now we have a story from this year, and as it said, this has been the best Championship season since 1951-1952, which is the same as Millwall. So, as I mentioned before, when I made that in that video where I mentioned like the reasons why the attendances waxed and waned as they were, the post-war generation, the youngsters, the Teddy boys not really like going out dancing on a Saturday night, not really wanting to go to football games because it's seen as like a old man thing, that's like old sick Britain. They didn't want to do that kind of thing. They wanted fresh, like American style stuff. And then you've got in 1966 England win the World Cup, and then it's like all football's glamorous now. You've got Bobby Moore in all the newspapers, you've got George Best, you've got Rodney Marsh, you've got the players at Chelsea and Fulham and whatnot, and then the attendance pick up and it truffles along. You've got the violence in the 80s, and then it rebounds obviously after Euro 96 and stuff like that. So what it seems to be is more of a societal situation, macroeconomic things, generational things, whatever is going on. Maybe young men looking for something to do, old men looking for something to do. Now that there are a lot of old men retired, obviously we've seen at Millwall the age increase in the discount for OABs. So there is like a large amount of old men looking probably to come and attend games now that they can, if they can afford it, with their pensions that they have. So maybe that's a factor. Obviously we're seeing some clubs increase their ages, put the prices up, or even I've mentioned it previously in videos, Tottenham Hotspur making plans to remove the old age discount. There will be no discount because there's so many old people going to Tottenham games that they can't afford to give all of these people discounts. Well, they could, but they don't want to. Like anybody could do anything, but they obviously, if you've used to earning so much money, and then you're facing year on year people just getting more and more discounts, obviously that they're looking to go against that. So the increase seems to be generational, macroeconomical. Maybe it's due to Britain leaving the EU, so the currency got a bit of a hit, and the exchange rate maybe got improved for people from outside. I don't know what's going on there. But so yeah, let's have a look at this from EFL.com. EFL highest attended league body in Europe. What does that mean? Well, the Sky Bet EFL Championship League 1 and League 2 is the highest attended league body in Europe for 23-24. The Sky Bet Championship broke an all-time record for attendance this season. All three Sky Bet EFL divisions featured in the top 15 best attended leagues across Europe in 23-24. So they don't tell us where that was. But League 2. So League 2. Now, is that because of Wrexham? There were some big teams in that league. Yeah, top 15 across all leagues in Europe. That's incredible. That is incredible. That the third division in England is in the top 15 attended leagues in the whole of Europe. More than 23.7 million supporters passed through the turnstiles of an EFL competitions. That's all together, and you'll see at the end they've got the list. The Sky Bet EFL has achieved the distinction of being the highest attended league body in Europe after welcoming more than 21.5 million fans through the turnstiles in 23-24. The cumulative attendance figure is the most since 1951-1952 season, representing an 11% increase on the previous season, and sees the league finish ahead of the Germany's Bundesliga and Bundesliga's 2. So it seems they're comparing professional leagues, because I believe doesn't Germany go down to like Bundesliga 3 and then it gets regionalised? So I think they're only counting professional leagues, which I think England's the only place, or England and Scotland but Scotland have shorter leagues, that has 3 or more professional leagues. I think every other, even like big countries like I said, Germany, like when you get down to 3, it gets regionalised, and they're amateur. So, contributing to that is the Sky Bet Championship breaking the record for total attendance of 12,723,678 fans, 22% increase on previous season. So, like I said, we saw these figures with Millwall 1951, 1952. That was the same season. That's the exact same season. So it's not just Millwall. It's not Millwall doing really good things, and obviously you need to be on the ball and make it attractive to people to go there, because they're in London. They'll have an alternative, because obviously it's not Millwall fans. It's the outsiders. It's the neutral fan, the tourist fan, the sightseeing fan. So they will have options other than Millwall. So you've got to make it attractive to attract those. But like I said, here we go. It's the best since the 51-52 season, and it's a 22% increase on last season in the whole championship. Representing the highest ever cumulative attendance for the second tier competition since records began in 1892. So what they're saying now, what are they comparing here? It doesn't make sense. Right, okay. So 12.7 million. Second tier. Okay, said it. Now, the second tier started in 1892. This isn't obviously the Football League. It was a Division 1 and Division 2, and then Division 1 became the Premier League in 1992. So for the second tier of English football, which would have been Division 2 of the Football League, which is now EFL Championship, it is the best ever attendance since it began in 1892. And when you figure that they used to have all standing back in the day, well, most standing back in the day, that is insane. That is insane. Another thing to consider, of course, is population. The population just keeps growing and growing and growing, and they're worried about obviously the population collapse with all the old people passing away all at the same time, the baby boomer generation. But the population is the highest it's ever been. So that might be a thing as well. The championship has also beaten the likes of the Bundesliga, Spain's La Liga, and Italy's Serie A to become the second most attended league division in Europe. This is an increase from 5th position after the 22-23 season. So the EFL Championship is the second most attended league division in Europe. That's in person. That is incredible as well. The Championship playoff final between Leeds and Southampton had a higher attendance, 85,862, than this year's FA Cup final between Manchester City and Manchester United, 84,814. Yes, but why would that be? Because that only counts paying fans. I believe it only counts paying fans. And obviously the comps, FA Cup comp, they comp a lot. The FA give out a load of free tickets, so I believe that's probably why that's like that. Sky Bet League 1, 9th. Oh, they do tell us. And then League 2, 13th. Also finished in the top 15 European leagues for the 23-24 season. So not 15th, but 13th. That is insane. League 2 was 13th. Fans in League 2 also helped set a new benchmark with a cumulative audience of 3,458,968, being the highest fourth tier attendance since the 1964-1965 season, and representing an increase of 8% on last season. When did the fourth tier begin? Wasn't that in 61? Because it used to be Division 3 South and North, and then they created Division 4. I believe that was around like maybe 1960, 1961. Sky Bet League 1 attendance has remained steady with more than 5.3 million through the turnstiles. Derby County's average attendance, 27,278, was higher than that of 6 Premier League clubs this season. Ouch. The EFL's Cup competition remain appealing midweek fixtures for fans across the country, with 1.8 million fans taking in a live Carabao Cup or Bristol Street Motors Trophy fixture. The 88,868 fans from Chelsea and Liverpool that attended the Carabao Cup final made it the highest attended final since 2014-15. In total, more than 23.7 million supporters passed through the turnstiles of an EFL competition in 23-24. On TV, fans of EFL clubs consumed their team in large volumes during the regular season and Sky Bet EFL playoffs. The average Sky Bet EFL UK live audience was 309,000, which was up 46% versus May 2023, and the average Sky Bet Championship UK live audience 333,000, up 51% against the same time last season. What is that about? Are more people getting Sky? I don't understand this. Is that because of the TV deal that they were putting the games on Sky on the red button? So, because it was on the red button. But here's the thing. How are attendances at the ground up, but also attendances on people watching it on TV is up as well? How is that possible? How is it possible? Is it because of that? Is there less trouble at away games because fans of teams going away get the chance to watch the game on television? So they would do that, which means the amount of trouble at away games is down, which means home supporters go to home games more. I don't know. What is happening? How can it both be up? Because we keep the reason why the blackout remains, where you can't show a game on Saturday at 3 p.m. is because, if you did that, no one would go. Well, we've got a situation here where the amount of fans that are going to the games in person has gone up, and the amount of people watching it at home on television has also gone up. Bizarre. What is happening? Can anyone say? So here are the figures. I'm not going to read the quote from Trevor Birch. Here are the figures here. So yeah, there you go. Crazy stuff there. Crazy stuff. Obviously, the new TV deal starts the season coming up. We've got the Sky Sports Plus platform. What is that going to do for attendances? What will it do? I don't know. It means that all of our games are going to get moved. A lot of games are going to get moved. Will that affect attendances? Will it affect season ticket sales? Because you don't know when the games are going to be. You'll know in advance, but if you're strictly, Saturday, 3 o'clock, this is my football time, and then it turns out it's going to be Friday night, it's going to be Saturday evening, it's going to be Saturday morning, it's going to be Sunday morning, it's going to be Sunday evening. You're all over the shop. Your pattern, your rhythm, your pattern, like your habits get changed and through no fault of your own. And then do you just give up that because it's annoying to do, and you can now stay at home and watch it on TV? I don't know. We'll wait and see. But on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.